So we have the Seudah during the day, not the night. You might ask, why don't we have the meal on Purim night? Every holiday, you have, especially on Sukkot, you have a meal in the night. Why don't we have it in the night? Because the Megillah says these are going to be days, Yemei Mishteh v'Simcha, days of feasting and joy. So because it specifically mentions days, we eat the meal during the day. Now, when do we eat that meal? So in regular years, when Purim doesn't fall right before Shabbos, we'll eat that meal later in the day after Mincha, because earlier in the day you're involved with the mitzvahs of the day. Now, what do you eat during this Purim meal? Meat and bread are recommended to eat at the meal, and of course, going to drink wine. There's a whole discussion how much wine. I'm not getting into that right now, but there's also discussion if you specifically have to use wine or other alcoholic beverages. It seems like from the Piskei Teshuvos, he seems to say that other alcoholic beverages would count as well, but he says to combine it with wine. But when you ask, I don't know if that's going to be so healthy for your stomach. We might prefer wine because all the miracles of the holiday happen over wine. So there's a preference when it comes to that, especially if you view all the mitzvahs as kind of like a reenactment of the holiday. Now, why was this meal instituted? So one explanation is that the Haman decreed that his decree was focused on harming the Jew's body. So during this meal, we celebrate the body. We celebrate that our bodies were saved. That's why we have a special meal. It's very rare that you have a meal like a feast in Jewish law, which is to get pretty tipsy if you can, or if you hold by that approach and you eat a lot of food. It's a unique thing. So it's to celebrate the body. Another approach, though, is that and this appears in a lot of different books, that on Purim we accept the Torah from love. Shavuot we accept the Torah from fear. But on Purim it's like a reconnection. And it appears in different texts. And perhaps this is what we do on Shavuot. It says Moshe went up to Har Sinai. There was no bodily pleasure. He disconnected from his body. But on Purim, we want to reinforce the fact that we're accepting Torah from a natural place. So we're doing among friends at a meal, and we're reconnecting to Torah from that place. And based on this other reason, the second reason, it might be worthwhile to have some Torah at your Purim Seudah. So it could be something perhaps that you downloaded connected to Purim, or you could be sitting with somebody who has some interesting Divrei Torah connected to Purim. I know I used to, when I was in yeshiva, I used to try to go to different rabbis' homes and hear their Torah, especially when they were kind of drunk. That would be the most amazing Torah. Maybe it's just because I was drunk and I thought it was amazing. But it's important, based on the second reason, to reconnect to the Torah through the meal. So that's a little bit on the Seudah, why we do it, and this idea of kind of connecting to our bodies and connecting to Torah on a higher level, a place of love.